Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we are previewing Funki Fruit, and this is going to be put out by Clever Unicorn Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out.
Alright, so this game is all about these, anthropomorphic fruits. Is that how that works? Can only animals be anthropomorphic? Or is it anything that's human-like?
Like, what is it when people see it in clouds and stuff?
That's a whole different thing. I don't know. Anyways, there's these fruits. It's all about this set collection. You're trying to get the best sets of fruits. They all have different scoring mechanisms. But there's just all, like any fruits, there's going to be some spoiled fruits. And there's also some bugs that are going to come your way in the form of swarms. Let me show you what it looks like on the table. Alright, so the first thing you need to do when you're setting up Funki Fruit is to set up your menu. There are starter salads, there are fruit platters, and there's a whole bunch of additional cards and weather and different things that you add in as well. Some action cards, spoiled cards, and of course those nasty swarms. Based off the number of players you're playing with, there's going to be more or less cards. That way it's, has a balance to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to choose is our salads. There are two to choose from. There is grapes. There is both green and red grapes. And they have kind of a point system to them. So by themselves, they're worth 2 points. But if you can get, a pair of them, it's worth 18 points. So obviously you're very much incentivized to get a pair of them. Next up is the avocados. They are worth 8 points apiece, which is great. However, with the avocados, there's also this alien adduction action, which causes people to lose all their avocados. Alright, so next up is the apples. Basically, with the apple cards, what you're going to get is you're going to get more and more points based off of how many of those apples you get. Let's see if I can get that in focus here. Yeah, so if you get a whole bunch of apples, you're going to get 62 points. There's even a golden apple that's worth 2 apples. Alright, so then we have the bananas are next. The bananas, they're worth, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points of bananas. Oh, by the way, there's also a worm to go along with those apples. By themselves, they're worth whatever their point value is. However, you get a bonus based off of you're able to get the certain thresholds. So, if you can get 21 points worth of bananas, you get an extra 40 points on top of that, so that's very strong. But then there's also a monkey who can take some people's bananas. The last fruit platter is these tropical fruits. They kind of have a set collection thing going on, so basically it's going to say something like, the more you collect of a certain kind of thing, the better it is. But also you get a bonus if you get one of each kind. So you've got pineapples, you've got mangoes, kiwis, and you've got coconuts. And they all say the same thing. The more you collect of each individual type, the more points. But also, you get a whole bunch of points extra if you're able to get at least one of each. Then there's a ton of other cards. You've got something like watermelons. Watermelons are worth 10 points apiece, so those are really strong. You've also got passion fruit, which are worth 6 points apiece, or give you some protection from, negative action cards, which we'll get to. Star fruits let you duplicate some of your other cards. Dragon fruit's worth a ton of points. We've got spoiled cards. So spoiled cards, these sprouts to start with, they're worth 0 points, which isn't that bad. It just takes up a spot in your hand. Whoever has the most is going to gain 10 points, which is kind of interesting. You've got bad apples, which are worth, make your apples worth less. We've got bad tomatoes with negative points. More sprouts. Alright, the rain and sun, it's kind of another combo. By themselves, rain or sun is only worth negative 10 points, so it's kind of bad. But if you're able to keep on digging through that deck and find its pair, plants are able to grow better. So, positive 25 points. So the weather is really important there as well. Alright, so then we've got a whole bunch of action cards. The action cards are really where this thing gets going. Basically, it lets you steal different stuff. There's different, all different swapping that can happen. You have to reveal cards that are hidden. So there's just a ton of different actions that all have a ton of different abilities that can really affect the game. The last thing I want to show you is these swarm cards. These are the negative cards that are going to really mess with you. When you draw these, it applies to the entire table. This one says, everyone discard. Let's see if we can focus on that again. Everyone discard any card in turn. Now all pass any card to the player on the right. So basically the whole table is going to kind of have their hands messed with a little bit. And all those swarms, they all do different things as well. So every time you play, it's going to be a completely new and crazy experience. Alright, so all that was just the setup, showing you the different cards. Now what is actually going to happen on your turn is, you're going to have this fruit basket in front of you. That's going to be in front of every player. They're going to have a fruit basket. You have a hand limit of 10 cards, unless certain cards are in effect modifying that. But basically, this fruit basket can hold up to 2 cards, and those 2 cards are considered part of your hand limit. However, they're kind of granted some extra protections against some of those attack cards and some of those swarm cards as well. So your turn's kind of going to go A, B, C, D. The A stands for action. You can play any action card you want out of your hand. You put them in the discard pile. There's going to be 2 discard piles, actually. That's kind of important later on. But yeah, you can play one of your action cards and do whatever it says. The next thing is B for basket, and that's where you can kind of swap out cards from your basket into your hand, kind of modify things a little bit, protect what you need to protect, put back into your hand whatever you want to maybe get rid of possibly. The next is C for cards. First of all, you're going to draw some cards. The first one's going to be from the draw pile, and it's going to be face down, but you're going to reveal it. Everyone's going to see what it is. Now you get a second card as well. However, that one, you can choose to either draw one from the upside down, or from the face down pile, and put it straight in your hand without anybody seeing. Or if you really want, let's say there's one of the cards off the discard piles, you can take a card off the discard pile as well, as long as it's not an action. If one of the cards that was drawn is a swarm, you immediately play it, and everybody has to do whatever bad, nasty thing it says. Alright, and then out of the A, B, C, and then D, that's the last part of your turn, you're going to end your card by discarding. If you're ever over that 10 card limit, or whatever your hand limit is based off of, again, other actions going on, you're going to have to discard down to 10. However, you cannot discard any of the spoiled cards. Those are trapped in your hand forever, unless you can get an action card to modify that. Alright, so the game's going to keep on going like that. Each player goes through that A, B, C, D step of actions, messing with your basket, drawing cards, and then discarding. Everyone's going to do that until the deck basically runs out. There are going to be 4 of those swarm cards kind of shuffled into the deck, and there's one at the very bottom of the deck basically kind of shuffled into the last few cards, so you don't know exactly when it's going to come up. But as soon as that last swarm card is revealed and finalized, the game ends. After that, everyone shows their hand. They flip over whatever cards might have been in the baskets there. Everyone's going to count their points, and whoever has the most points wins the game.
As Ryan probably showed you, there's this fruit salad menu, and so based on the amount of players, you get to customize your salad. I thought it was kind of cute how you have the different salads and menus to choose from and the names that went around with those, so the salad menu is cute.
I really liked how there was that 10 card hand limit. It was really frustrating in a way, but also at the same time, it kind of forced you to make these tough decisions. You really wanted to go, hold out for that set of pears or whatever it was, but, you got to, weigh and measure, like, well, I've already seen a couple get put in the discard pile. How many more are out there? Is it worth it? I'll get rid of it, hope for something different, So you have to really make those tough decisions basically every time you get to the top of that hand limit, and that made for some really fun, tough decisions.
So if you like puns, you will enjoy this. There's just a lot of fruity pun human in here everywhere, all over the cards, all over the rule book, all over the menu. There are just a lot of puns, like, littered in all of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were even having a contest trying to come up with the best puns, so that way, they get some community involvement with it as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I will say that these spoiled cards in this game can really mess with you. Some of them are, can do positive benefits for you in a way as well, but those action cards, those are going to be really important for you to find ways to get rid of them, because you can't discard them the normal way with other cards at the end of your hand limit kind of thing. You have to get those action cards to somehow can manipulate them to get it out of your hand, because otherwise if you stick with those, it's bad news. Alright, so you guys, this was a super lighthearted, this is, it's a really interesting game. It just did not take itself seriously whatsoever. It was a game that, I don't know, like the name suggests, if you're looking for a funky time, Funky Fruits is going to be for you. It's coming to Kickstarter soon, so be sure to check that out.
Alright, and you can find us in all the places. You can find us on YouTube and subscribe under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany. You can find us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany, and you can find us on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1.
Alright, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.